Horror fiction is one of the oldest and richest genres in literature. It digs deep into our primal fears, from the supernatural to the psychological. Here's a countdown of the 10 greatest horror novels ever written, each one a masterpiece that didn't just scare us, it changed us. 10. The Fisherman by John Langan, 2016. This one's a slow burn, but when it burns, it scorches. On the surface, it's about grief and fishing. Beneath, it's cosmic horror, folklore, and loss, rolled into something Lovecraftian, but with way more heart. It's quietly devastating and terrifying in equal measure. A modern cult classic. 9. Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, 1962. Bradbury's prose is pure poetry, and this novel is nostalgia, soaked in dread. A mysterious carnival arrives in a small town, offering twisted versions of people's desires, and it feeds on those regrets. It's a coming-of-age tale laced with magic, melancholy, and menace. A Halloween staple. 8. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, 1959. Forget jump scares. Jackson plays with psychological horror. Is the house haunted, or is Eleanor just unraveling? This novel creeps into your mind and refuses to leave. It's quiet, unsettling, and deeply sad. Easily one of the most influential haunted house stories ever written. 7. The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, 1988. Dr. Hannibal Lecter isn't a ghost or a monster. He's worse. He's intelligent, cultured, and utterly monstrous. The tension between him and Clarice Starling is electrifying. Harris gave us a serial killer story that feels like psychological warfare, chilling in its precision. 6. The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty, 1971. Based on a real exorcism, this novel is still one of the most terrifying books ever written. It's not just about possession, it's about faith, guilt, and the unknown. Blatty's theological background gives the horror weight, and Reagan's transformation is bone-deep disturbing. 5. Hell House by Richard Matheson, 1971. Think The Haunting of Hill House, but turned up to 11. Hell House is the most evil house in horror fiction. Sex, violence, ghosts, and madness, all wrapped into one claustrophobic nightmare. Matheson was a master storyteller. He also wrote I Am Legend, and here he just lets loose. 4. Pet Sematary by Stephen King, 1983. King has said this is the one novel he almost didn't publish because it was too disturbing. And yeah, it's that bleak. Grief, death, and the price of trying to undo the inevitable. The horror here is primal and tragic. Sometimes dead is better, and this book proves it. 3. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, 2000. It's not just a story, it's an experience. The layout twists, the fonts change, the text spirals, collapses, breaks apart, just like the minds of the characters. A family discovers their house is bigger on the inside, and it only gets worse from there. Meta-horror, psychological horror, existential horror. It's all here. A genre-defying masterpiece. 2. Dracula by Bram Stoker, 1897. The novel that gave us the vampire. Told through diaries, letters, and telegrams, Dracula is still remarkably effective, atmospheric, and genuinely eerie. Beyond the horror, it's about sex, xenophobia, and the fear of modernity. Plus Van Helsing, vampire brides, and ancient evil. This is Gothic horror at its finest. 1. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, 1818. Written when Shelley was just 18, this novel invented science fiction horror. But it's more than a monster story. It's about creation without compassion, the loneliness of being misunderstood, and the ethics of science. The creature is one of the most tragic and complex figures in literature. It's haunting, philosophical, and still relevant 200 years later.